Hello everyone, I'm Sue Heaton.
I'm Jeff Franke.
Good to be with you again, Jeff.
Great to see you, Sue.
Boy, do we have a great show today.
Oh boy.
We have lots of important people coming on.
3 guests. Who will you be talking to?
I'm going to talk with Rebecca Darr, and she is here to tell us about the Wings organization and how they have opened a facility here in Elk Grove to accept donations for a very worthy cause.
Oh, good. I'll be talking to Claire Naughton from the Park District Pavilion that runs the triathlon for the village. It's a small triathlon, but it's for everybody. It's going to be really a lot of fun, so I hope to hear a lot about it.
Yeah, about that. And then we're also going to talk together today, I understand, with Sandy Denninger.
From the Historical Society.
Right, she's a curator.
Yeah.
Over there. I understand she has a lot of history, a lot of knowledge.
Yeah, there's
a lot to share. So
that'd be nice.
A lot of important guests today. So
look forward to it.
Yeah, we hope you will join us. We will be right back with the program.
I like this music.
They said I could play, so any chance to play at all. You know, that's my life. I love music.
Yeah, that's how we do it.
Welcome back to the program, everyone. Very happy to introduce to you now. My next guest is Rebecca Darr. Very happy to have you with us today, Rebecca.
Thank you.
And you come to us from the Wings organization.
I do.
And this is an organization you are CEO of. And I guess we'll start with a little background, perhaps about you at first, and how your interest began in the Wings organization.
Sure. I came to the Chicago area about 18 years ago with my husband, who came to GE Healthcare and was looking for the right opportunity, a place that I could go to be passionate about, and I found Wings and have been there for 17 years and really enjoyed growing the organization. What we do is help women and kids leave abusive situations, and we give them housing and support and counseling and everything that they need to get back on their feet.
Thus the word wings, to kind of
give them their
gain
wings.
your freedom and to go. Now, unfortunately, is there a great need? There's a lot of
Sadly,
women
there's a
and
great
children
need for
in this situation?
everywhere, including the northwest suburbs. And I think when Wings was founded 30 years ago, I think that was the belief, was that homelessness and domestic violence did not occur in this area. And a group of church members in St. Marceline's Church in Schaumburg actually started the organization.
That's where it began? St.
That's where it began, and it's grown to encompass the entire north and northwest suburbs. We have 30 homes and apartments that we operate. And we have 3 resale stores that we sell things in, and the money from those stores goes to help us operate
Well,
those
let's talk about the homes and apartments. I don't know that I was familiar with that. So you actually have housing that you place these needy individuals in.
We do.
So you buy these properties?
We've done a variety of things over the last 30 years. We've had a couple of homes donated to us in unlikely places such as Park Ridge and Barrington.
Wow.
And we've built some with some HUD funds, a home in Schaumburg, and we have a home in Palatine. And then a lot of the apartments are in between. We rent, we get some HUD dollars and some private dollars to rent the apartments, and the women and kids, the women get jobs and pay some rent in those apartments. So we're designed to take families who are in dire emergency into an emergency shelter. We now have 2 of those, one in the northwest suburbs and one that we just opened in Chicago. And they can come into those facilities, and they do many times with nothing but the clothes on their backs. So that's why the donations that we get are really important, because not only do we use those to sell in the stores to make money to operate these homes, but we also then have resources and clothes for the moms and the kids when they need them.
So while they're there, their goal is to get training and a basis of support.
Absolutely.
To get them on.
So what a lot of people don't realize or think about, the reason that women who are in domestic violence situations, and we typically refer to women because it's more often women than men.
Usually.
Not that it doesn't happen to men, and we have served men as well in our capacity through counseling and other means. But the women, the victims, don't have access to money. So that's a big part of domestic violence, is financial abuse.
Certainly.
And so when they leave with no money and no access to money. So that's why it's critical that they have someone who can step in and really put the ground underneath them. And And for many of them, their journey doesn't end in 2 years. I mean, they may get financially stabilized, but a lot of times they're still working on the trauma. Many of them suffer post-traumatic stress disorder. Many people think of that only as happening in war. These women are experiencing war in their own homes.
Right.
So
within those four walls.
Exactly. So
how many
yes,
people do you think you've served over these years, estimate?
Oh, in the 30 years Wings has been in existence, it's been in the thousands. Because keep in mind, we take in the children. So we've far served more children than adults. So on average, we have the moms coming in with 2 to 3 kids. Yeah. And then we also see the families who don't need housing, or the women who don't need housing, or they're not ready to leave, can access counseling and other services through
so even if
community-based centers.
In an abusive situation, they're remaining in the home, they can seek counseling through Wings.
They can.
Have most of them heard about you to go there, or you hear about them and reach out? Or it's through a friend?
Every
all
different
of the
ways.
above.
Our primary source actually is through faith communities. A lot of people will go to their church looking for assistance.
And then the church
Obviously
refers.
through police departments. When the police are responding to a domestic violence call, then they will give them our number to call. Last year, I think we fielded just under 5,000 calls.
Okay, so now you have them all in a place, and now they need things. So I have passed your resale shop. Tell us a little bit about the first one.
So we started resale shops. Our first one we opened in 2000, and the purpose was dual, to create a revenue stream for the organization, because many people wanted to give us their stuff, and they could clean out their closets and give us stuff.
Everybody's looking a place,
which was easier than writing a check, and it served a great purpose for them. They could clean out their closets, and they could be helping people at the same time. So we created that avenue for the revenue stream, and then, as I said, to also be able to clothe and furnish our apartments and homes from those stores. So we now have 3 stores, one in Niles, one in Schaumburg, and one in Arlington Heights. And the big thing that we've opened recently, very recently here in Elk Grove Village, is a logistics center. So that's our centralized sorting area. What we found was that we were spending a lot of volunteer resources sorting donations in 3 different locations. And so now all of those donations are brought from those locations here to Elk Grove on Oakton Avenue, just near where Higgins.
Now, is this a location where viewers, if they have items, they would bring?
It is
okay,
open for donations right now.
It's on Oakton.
It is on Oakton, right where Higgins, right now where Higgins and Oakton connect. It's just west of that intersection. You can't miss it. It's got a big awning that says Wings on it.
So we can see it.
For the hours, you can go to our website at wingsprogram.com, and it has the hours posted where we have staff and volunteers there to accept your donations.
Okay, so what do you take?
So our favorite items are women's clothing, much what I'm wearing now. This came from our store. You were saying
this was from you.
I buy all of my clothes, including my gowns for our Purple Tie Ball, all come from Wings Resale. Wow. And so the nicer the things we get, the better I look. So I appreciate everything that you can give to us to help me dress nicely.
And her size is?
Size 6, please.
Okay. Okay. Looks good.
But more importantly, we do pick up furniture. There's a process for that.
So we don't even have to worry about getting a truck to haul it there. You will come and pick it up.
We do have a process to make sure that it's going to be something we can sell.
Right.
Because if it's something we can't sell, then it actually costs our organization money to have it hauled off. So we do appreciate that people help us with that and honor that. And obviously the nice furniture not only is great for our customers who come in and can find a great couch for a great price, but we also furnish our homes with them.
So what else should we know about Wings here, other than it's a great organization? Someone had a great idea, and you've helped many people that have been abused, men and women, and protected their children, and given them transition. And you must walk away each day with a great feeling of satisfaction.
Well, I'll tell you what. We have an annual celebration called the Celebration of Courage, which is our graduation ceremony. And we honor the women who are finishing up their 2 years with us and graduating on to the next part of their journey. And it is the most affirming part of my job, because not only for those women, they will stand up, and what they say to the rest of the people in the room, women who are just coming in to the program, I didn't believe in myself when I came here. and I'm a different person now. I got myself back, and I'm ready to move forward.
There's your paycheck right there.
And even more so, having their children call their mom their hero, and having junior high and high school kids, 90 to 100% of them on the honor roll, and knowing that this
you played a role.
Opportunity for them changed their life forever. And our goal is to facilitate to honor them and to give them the respect that they had not been given
What
before.
rewarding work that you do.
It is.
Absolutely. And we hope all our viewers that are listening and that are thinking about finding a place for their belongings, think of the Wings organization first.
We would greatly
and
appreciate
foremost.
it, because we get less than 17% of our overall funding from all government sources. So we rely, on the community for supporting our events, for donating their stuff, for supporting our fundraising campaigns. It's the only way we're able to do the work we do.
And what wonderful work you do. Rebecca, thank you for bringing this to our attention.
Thank you to Elk Grove Village for having me. Thank you.
And come back again in the future and continue to tell us about all your success stories.
I would love to. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rebecca. And we will be back with the rest of the program. Thank you.
Space technology is everywhere. Think medicine, transportation, energy, and countless products we use every day. Learn how space technology improves life here on Earth at spacecertification.org.
Welcome back. Today my guest is Claire Naughton, who is the Pavilion Fitness General Manager and is here today to talk about the triathlon that the park is running. Well, welcome back.
Thanks, Jeff. It's good to be back.
Yes, it's good.
The event is on Saturday, August 13th, and it runs from 7 a.m. to roughly 11:30. And we have 7-year-olds all the way through adults. Over 10 years ago, we actually started this event just for the youth, and it was 7-year-olds through 13. And it was a free event then, just to get kids out. We had a really good turnout. But then over a few years, adults started, they'd see me in the parking lot, in the pavilion, or email me and ask, could we have adults? I'd like to be a part of it. We added adults, and of course, it's been a huge event. It gets bigger and bigger.
It's probably now what, more 60%, 70% adults, or?
Yeah, I think it's about 50-50. We get a lot of adults, but we get a lot of really little kids.
Right,
like the 7 and 10-year-old age, there's a lot of kids. And the neat part about that is all the adults come out to cheer them on. And so to watch them run, especially the run, which is the last part of this event, they're tired, but when they hear their parents or their friends cheering them on, they just take off, like that last 50 yards.
And it's for everybody. I've done it twice, so if I can do it and complete it, anybody can. So that's if anybody out there's watching, go, triathlon, I can't do it. Why don't you explain the steps so people understand?
Oh yeah, sure. Triathlon, it's 3 events in one, and you're right, anybody can do it. We're not this USTA sanctioned kind of thing. We do have competitors, trust me. You can, you see the bikes. But the first part of the race is a swim, and we use our outdoor pool. It's newly renovated, so it's beautiful. Then you transition into the bike, which we bike around it's right at the pavilion, just around the grounds. So you're not far from the pavilion itself. And then when you finish that bike portion, you go into the run. Depending on your age group, obviously, the distance is different. 7-year-olds are not going to do the same as the adults. So I know the adults would love to do the same as the 7-year-olds, but
it would be nice. I know the time would be short.
Yeah.
Now it goes on the streets around the pavilion, correct? Still,
yes. Yeah, exactly. It kind of winds back behind Wellington and Somerset and Trowbridge, Beisner, all back there.
Okay. So we covered the course. What if someone competes? Do they get something, or do you have to win?
It's a good. Well, we do have medals for first, second, and third in every age group. We have different age groups. But for the youth, they all get, actually, I think last year, everybody got a participation ribbon just for being in the event and a certificate. The kids love that. It's something. They completed the race, even if they didn't win a medal. And we also have, we're a park district, so we have to do a little bit more. We have There's food available. We always have water and then fruit at the end
Health
of the
food,
event.
yeah.
And yeah, exactly. No, it's not donuts. But in the morning, there's even before the event, there's coffee and stuff for people as they're dropping off. Because for a lot of people, getting set up or bringing their kids to get set up, it's early. You know, you're up at
How you guys
6
get it?
a.m.
I know you have a lot of volunteers. By the way, since we say that, can you use more volunteers? If anybody's out there and just want to watch the race or
always.
do that, could you use
We
some?
can always use volunteers. And you would just contact me at work. You know, you
Okay.
can email me.
We can put your number on the screen.
That would be great, about the event and volunteering. Ironically, that is probably the most difficult part of the event, is getting all the volunteers and getting them ready and organized for this event, because it's 5 hours done, and you know, but to get them there.
And just so people think, okay, well, how do you time this? And the first thing is, you're in a pool. You don't have to worry about drowning. That would always bother me if I'm swimming a lake. Then I'm going to get tired and just quit.
No,
So,
and we have lifeguards there.
yes,
So.
once you finish the swim, which you will, then you can take your time if you need to, just to say you finished. And to go ride the bike or run, because as long as 5 hours, you should be able to walk the course by that time. But so in case anybody's like, Larry, well, I don't want to try to do that. I mean, it's so much fun, and you feel so good about yourself when you
Oh, you
complete
do.
it.
Everybody, when they come across, they're really happy.
And you get this neat little band on that's actually, it starts a time. It's a chip that you wear, correct?
Yeah, we actually have changed. We did have a chip timing system. We changed our vendor. He actually does it a little bit different, where it's called It's Your Race. That's the vendor. The guy that runs it, I actually knew him outside of this the event, but he will break it down so you can know your swim time, your bike time, and your run time.
Oh, wow.
So obviously it's beginning and end. You have your total time, but the participants really liked that. And at the end, there's a kiosk, and you can punch in your number. You have a bib number that's assigned to you. You punch that in, and it actually will print out your time, and depending on when you punch it out, it will even give you a place.
I know we had to wait till it was posted on the internet.
Yeah,
and
this
all
is
like
a
that,
lot faster. Yeah.
So how do you sign up for this?
Right now, it's all online.
Okay.
Do everything online. So you can do it from home, do it actually from your phone anymore with the smartphones. And it's itsyourrace.com, and you're going to look for the Elk Grove Challenge. In fact, you can type in Elk Grove Challenge or August 13th. I mean, either way, that event's going to come up, and you register.
Is there a link from the Park District website underneath it?
There is on the fitness web page, but sometimes people to navigate there.
Okay. But if they have a question, they can pop into the pavilion.
Oh yeah, in fact, there's
call you.
little postcards now all over the facility that you can grab, and the details of the race, like the fee or the distance of the races, and of course the link. It's all on that card. You know, you take it with you. And we have, you know, all the participants get an email from me. Actually, it's a kind of a breakdown of what to expect, because they ask questions from what time do I show up, where do I pick up my packet. I mean, there's all kinds of questions. And I send out, it's a letter, kind of going through answering all their questions, where the bathrooms are, where the first aid, just in case. Where do I park?
Sure. Well, you have an orientation. I mean, that's where I learned everything to do, but still there's a lot of people out there to help, just in case you have a question.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, we're not trying to win the Boston Marathon
No.
or anything, so it's just a fun thing to have, and I recommend if anybody ever wanted to do it, this is where you start off and do it this way.
Yeah, actually a lot of people, this was their first one. Now,
Yeah.
I know some, they come back and they've done others that are a little tougher.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It is a lot of fun.
Sure.
Well, thank you very much for coming here and talking about this. I think hopefully we can talk again. We've had you on before. We can talk about how this went over and maybe some new things coming through the Pavilion Fitness.
Right.
In the future.
Yeah, we're doing, well, this is a big one. We're doing a lot with our 50th anniversaries this year, and I know they've been pumping it. Diane talked about it already last month, and it's a huge event on July 17th. And with the village, we're working together. It's going to be, everybody's got to come out to that.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody.
Well, hopefully everybody in town, I hope we can fit them around.
I mean, yeah, there will be so much to do. There are so many activities. It will be a big day.
Yeah. Well, who knows? Maybe the day before I'll decide to do this again. So.
Just let me know, Jeff.
Yeah, I will. I'll pay the penalty fee. Thanks again for coming. I appreciate
Fantastic.
it.
Thank you.
All
I
right,
appreciate
thank
it.
you.
Awesome.
All right. We'll be right back after this.
My boyfriend drinks too much. I found help and support at Al-Anon Family Groups. Is someone's drinking troubling you? You might be surprised at what you can learn in an Al-Anon family group from people just like you. Call 1-888-4-AL-ANON or go to alanon.org.
Well, welcome back, everyone. Jeff and I together now. Hey, that's unusual, Jeff.
We don't usually get to
We need
do
two
this
of
the
us
same.
to interview the lady on our right,
Very
don't we?
important,
Yeah,
yes.
very important
very
lady.
special guest.
Let's take the focus over to Miss Sandy Denninger. Welcome, Sandy.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and your title is?
Curator of the Elk Grove Historical Museum.
Sounds very important. Well, should we ask her, Jeff, what exactly does a curator?
Sure. Well, I should start by saying I'm kind of an oldie. I've been with the museum for a little over 10 years. And so what a curator does in the setting where I'm at is we oversee the artifact collection. So if people want to donate something to us as it pertains to the history of Elk Grove, I not only bring it into our collection, but help in documenting it, researching it, helping to preserve it, but also sharing it with the public. So that leads into my other major role, which is designing exhibits. So where we take this information that people give us and put it together in a way that people can learn from it.
Well, what about perspectives? What is this perspective?
Sure. So Perspectives is the title of a new exhibit that our museum will be opening on August 6th. It's going to be on display all through February, and it will be a reoccurring exhibit. So 6 months out of the year, traditionally, our museum puts together a temporary exhibit that's only up for 6 months about any aspect of our community's history. Generally, this is something we put up in March. It goes through August and can be any topic. We did a history of the Jarsh Bakery. We've done a history of medicine, where we tied in Alexian brothers. Most recently, we had a history of music in Elk Grove. But when we don't have that temporary exhibit up, the building kind of stands sort of a little empty. We use it for meeting space, program space, but otherwise there's not really things to see in there. So what I really wanted to develop was an exhibit that was sort of self-guided, that introduced visitors to the entire history of this community. When you go through a tour of the farmhouse, you get a very focused portion of our community's history, and that's 1800s, maybe early 1900s. But a lot of people who live in Elk Grove today really bond with that early suburban history. And they could get that through temporary topics, but this exhibit will sort of showcase, for lack of a better term, a then and now approach to the development of the community. That includes both township history, which goes back to 1850, all the way up through 1950s, 1960s, and so on, through the growth of the suburb once it became incorporated in 1956. So this will be on display. It will have its opening reception on August 6th, and it will run through February 4th, but then it will go back on display probably most likely September of next year through February, and so on and so on. So, some people say, oh, I missed that exhibit. It was only out for 6 months. Where were you? But at least for this type of exhibit, because it's a history of the overall area, it will be kind of put back up year after year. So it'll be there will be future chances to see the exhibit again.
Well, this year, do you have special events that are going to be with also this? I noticed there.
Sure. So
games.
With other exhibits, we've kind of hosted kind of like an opening kickoff. So this year it'll be on Saturday, August 6th from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. We're going to keep it real kind of casual, fun, laid back. So we're going to have a collection of vintage cars, courtesy of the Triumph Car Club. For those who don't know, Triumph is a British car band, so we're kind of tying in, or cars, which we're tying in with the whole British invasion of the mid-1960s. They're really fun little sports cars. We're trying to go with more like ones of the late 50s through the early 60s time period. The Elk Grove Historical Society will be there selling food between 12 and 1:30. To benefit their cause. Otherwise, people are welcome to bring picnic lunches. The farmhouse will be open for tours. Of course, folks can go through and see the exhibit, and we'll just have some simple picnic games.
Are there any fees for any of these
No,
tours?
it's completely free, aside from paying for food if you
Sure,
choose to
of
purchase
course,
food. But otherwise, nope, everything is free.
Sounds like a wonderful exhibit. I think we ought to make plans to get over there.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
Right.
I'm glad that you're going to be
It's
rerunning
really interesting
this.
to see the history and to see the
Sure,
growth.
and the exhibit itself will include a lot of photos. Some of them will be larger scale, so very graphic. There will be audio features, both capturing memories from people who used to live here, and that's why we went with the title Perspectives, because we really wanted it to showcase that the information that we're gathering a lot of times are from viewpoints and memories of people who used to live here or people who made an impact on the community. And those again, are from visitors or from residents who used to live here before the area became a suburb, but also those who made an impact on the community after incorporation. So kind of a little bit of both. There will be some video, also a lot of artifacts on display as well. And there will be an opportunity. Each of the topics that we're featuring will include a small section where visitors can kind of weigh in on their thoughts on how things have changed in the community and how they predict that they will continue to change in the future.
No problem.
That's me on the porch.
Yeah, so the top picture is the Henry Landmeyer farm. This was just east of the intersection of Higgins and Elmhurst Road. So this picture is from about 1890, 1892. You can see the raw milk cans in the back of the wagon. Elk Grove was a huge dairy community. Started
What kind of intersection might this picture?
That's Higgins and Arlington Heights Road.
And the only person, the three gentlemen on the right are all agents for Centex. The gentleman on the far left is A.J. Del Bianco. He was the architect for Centex. So he designed all the houses, also a lot of the churches and public schools as well. So,
Sandy, I certainly enjoy your enthusiasm. She seems
is
to be
chipper, isn't
she enjoys her work. We certainly enjoy all of the information that you bring us over there at the farmhouse. It's a stately building, to be sure, and there's always lots going on over there, and especially now as we celebrate birthdays here of the Park District as well as the village. So, gee, Jeff and I thank you for taking time to stop by today. Very nice to have you with us.
Thanks for having me.
And we will be right back with the remainder of the program.
When I lost my sight, the only thing I had was reading.
The National Library Service for the Blind and Physically Handicapped Library of Congress gives patrons the freedom to read their way. Call 1-888-NLS-READ.
And so, Jeff, I certainly want to thank Rebecca for taking time to stop by and tell us about this organization, Wings. And for people that have furniture or clothing, fashion handbags, shoes that they're looking for a home, what a great place to donate them.
Great cause.
To raise money for those among us who are abused and need shelter and need a start. And it's also nice to know that they even have a truck that will come to your home and pick it up.
That's
Isn't
perfect.
That wonderful benefit?
I think that's the drawback for a lot of people, that they can't get it to them, and that helps immensely.
Right. So thank you to Rebecca, not only for the organization, but all the enthusiasm, all the help that she brings to so many people in need.
And I'd like to thank Claire for coming and explaining how the triathlon works. It's for all ages. It's a lot of fun. And really, just to say you finished one is the goal to do it.
And you know that feeling.
I've done it twice, and I'll tell you, I was scared to do it, but you know, you're not going to drown in the pool, and that's all I worried about. So, you know, finishing it makes me feel that I can try to do anything. So it's really great.
And how about that history of our village?
Sandy is something else, and
she's packed with information.
She's so chipper.
I know. It's just fun to listen to her and her enthusiasm.
And what she knows for only being here for 10 years. I've been here 50, and
You didn't know as much as Sandy.
She's bringing back things in my mind. I was a little smaller back when all this started, but it's great history, and I hope all my children and all the young children here can learn and see about how this town was formed.
Where we started and where we're going.
Yeah, hopefully.
It's called Perspectives.
Yeah.
So make a point to get on over to the farmhouse on Bysterfield.
Definitely.
Fun to be with you again, Jeff.
You too. Look forward to next month. Hopefully we'll have some great guests.
All these birthday celebrations going on.
I know. I'm going to have too much cake.
Cake and candles. Happy birthday to the Park District and to Elk Grove Village.
Yep.
See you again next month, and we hope that you will join us on In the Grove. Thanks, everyone.